So by the end of this video series, hopefully you'll be able to create something that looks like the simulation here. And here, to remind you, we have all these different charges that create an electric field. We can add in as many charges as we want, and we can toggle between all of these different modes to kind of view different aspects of the electric field here. And lastly, we can add these test charges into everything that are going to move in accordance with the electric field. So to get started, we're going to download two things. One would be Visual Studio Code here. I'll put this link in the description. You don't have to use this, but I'm going to be using it for all of these videos. So if this is all very new to you, it might be easier for you to it might be easier if what you're dealing with looks like what I'm dealing with. And second, we're gonna download p5.js, the library. I'll put this link in the description. And if you just head down to single files and click on this button, you're gonna download that single file. I've already downloaded it. And from here, you're gonna create a random, not random, but create an empty folder anywhere on your computer. And mine isn't empty, but you can ignore everything except this p5.js file, which is what I downloaded. And I'm just gonna paste it into this file. And from here, I'm gonna head back. I'll open up Visual Studio because I'm guessing this might be the first time you're using it, and I will open up the file, the folder that I just created. Sorry. This is what my folder looks like. You can remember I had all of this stuff here, which you don't need to have, but you do need this p5.js file, which we're never going to touch. And then from here, I'm going to create two files. I could just hit this button here to create them. The first file I will call video2.html. And the second file I will call let's use this again, video2.js. And I'll close these. Okay. So one of the reasons I like VS Code is because it has all of these shortcuts you can use. Like if I just type in an exclamation point in my HTML file and hit enter, it kind of generates all this stuff here, which saves me some time. If all of this is very new to you, I'll include some stuff in the description about what is HTML, how does it work. We're not really going to do much here. From here, we're going to link the two files, the one we downloaded and the other one we created. And to do that, we will use a script tag, and I'll give it a source of video2.js. And I also need to kind of link the p5.js file, p5. And I will save. Now if I head back into the folder where I created everything, you can see this video2 file here. And if I open this up, it's going to be in my browser. Let's see. And yeah, I have an extension that I'll also put a link to it in the description. You don't have to use this, but it kind of makes stuff easier, which is this live server option. You don't have to use this, but every time you save something, if you don't use this extension, you're going to have to refresh the page, and then you'll see the updated page. But yeah, so let's get into actual code. So we always start out projects with a hello world kind of thing. To do this, I will create a function called setup. This is an inbuilt p5.js function. It kind of runs once as soon as the page first loads. And from here, I will console.log something, which is just printing in Python or something. And that's where I'll put my hello world. And again, if you're not using that extension, you need to refresh this every single time you make and every time you save your code. But I'm sure you've noticed there's nothing on here, and that's because everything goes into something called the console. So if I right click and inspect this and head to the console, you'll see this hello world thing, and that came from our video2.js file on line 3, which is right here. So that's one way of doing things. You can ignore all of these errors. These are all just like Chrome extensions that aren't working. And from here we need to talk about a different function, which is the draw function. And what this does is every frame it's gonna draw an image. So if I want text, well, before I do that, I'm gonna need to create a canvas. And you can think of a canvas like if you're painting, you paint on a canvas. Here we're gonna be drawing stuff onto this canvas. So I will create a canvas and I'll give it like a 400 by 400 size. That's like the width and height. And it's still blank because my canvas right now is just plain white. So in my draw function, I will kind of fill the entire canvas with I'll make it black, for instance. So to do that, I will use this background function and set the color to black. And there you can see our canvas. So from here, if I want to like write text onto my canvas, there's a text function that I can use. So the first thing here is going to be my the text I want to appear. Then I have this X, that's the X position, the Y is the Y position. X2 and Y2, just ignore those for now. So how coordinates work in this is the top right of our canvas is going to be the 0, 0 point, and everything to the right of that is going to be positive X, everything below this is going to be positive Y. So if I make this 200 and 200, it's going to put in that hello world text right here, but I can't see it because it's probably, the font is black, so I'll use like a fill here, and I will make this white. And there we have it, hello world. So these are kind of two ways to set up this hello world thing. In the next video, we're going to get into like some shapes and stuff that we can draw on this canvas. And then slowly things will get we'll incorporate more features and stuff until we have something that looks like the simulation that we looked at initially. But this is just kind of like a getting started like video to kind of to get started. Yeah, cool.